Some companies charge you $800 a month to tell you which neighborhoods are about to sell. But you already have that data. It's sitting in your MLS right now, and I'm going to show you how to pull it yourself with AI. So by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which pocket of your market to go after next. All right, quick intro if you're new here. Well, hi, I'm the Rook. I help agents actually use AI in their business without the overwhelm. And on this channel, I show you exactly how. No fluff, just you, me, and my screen. So do me a favor and subscribe so these videos keep finding you. And then let's get into it. Here's the idea in plain terms. Every day you're already in the MLS, and sitting in there is a record of every home that's sold in your area. Most agents glance at it and move on. But inside of that data is a pattern. Certain subdivisions are quietly heating up, selling faster and selling more before anybody really notices. So there's a tool called Manus that's genuinely good at one thing in particular. It reasons through data step by step the way a sharp analyst would. So instead of you squinting at a spreadsheet, you hand Manus 12 months of sales for one zip code, and it tells you which neighborhoods are on the rise. That's the part the expensive platforms charge you for, but you can do it yourself. You run this once a month on the area that you want to own. Think of it like taking the temperature of your market on a schedule. There are agents out there who seem to land a listing in the hot neighborhood every single time, like they're magicians. They're not. They're just looking at the data on a regular basis. And this is how you do it without eating up your week. Let me show you. All righty. So as you can see, I'm in the MLS system. If yours looks a little bit different, that's okay, depending upon where you're at. I'm in the North Texas, so we have Netris. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a detailed residential search, okay? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to uncheck all of these. I want close, and I want to go out the last year, okay? I'm going to make sure that I'm looking at my state, and I'm only going to focus on one zip code at a time because the amount of data that that potential zip code could have over homes that have sold over the past 12 months is extensive. So what I've got is I've got the time frame, I've got my zip code. I'm gonna go ahead and come down here and select single family residential, and then under housing type, I'll do single detached. That's really all the information I want, okay? We'll get to the sorting of the price range and all that if you want to later, but the idea is give it more data than it needs in order for you to figure it out. Okay, so I'm in the MLS system, I got my search, and so what I'm going to do is go ahead and click on results, show me. And what I've got is 445 homes, all the information that I need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to export this information, okay, and get it into Manus because that's what Manus can do. It can read all this information, 445 lines of information. Okay, so here's the thing. When you export this, you need to export it in two ways, okay? Now, there is a way in some MLSs, let me just say this. There is a way in some MLSs to export right from the search. Like if you're doing a search, you can export it from there depending upon the MLS that you have. If not, you're going to have to kind of go page by page to do this. If you know of a way to export in Netris, let me know because I've yet to figure that out. Anyway, let's get back to this. So in order to get all of this stuff exported, okay, I'm going to click on this little box top left-hand side, and it tells everything I need. It highlights everything I need. Then I'm going to come down to the bottom and click on export. Okay. Now there's two types of files that we need, and seeing how there's 445 lines of information and we need all of them, we're going to have to run this 5 times. So the two file formats you need is you need the agent single line, and it's already there, and you're going to export that, and then you're going to come down to the agent hot sheet, and you're going to export that as well. So you're running 2 different exports per result. So if I go back to my results, you're going to do the single agent and the hot sheet for this page, for the next page, for the next page, for the next page, and for the next page. So you're going to run this a couple of times, and that's okay because it's a lot of data. And again, you're running 2 reports, the agent single line and the hot sheet for this information. Perfect. So now that I have this information out of the MLS system and onto my computer, then the very first place we're going is Manus, because again, Manus is designed to do something really, really cool, and that is to be able to inspect a ton of data very quickly. So what I'm going to do is I'm on Manus. I signed into my account, and I'm going to click on the plus, and then I'm going to click on the add from local files. So I'm going to click on that button, and I'm going to go to my downloads. And then here are all of my files. I've got agent single line and hot sheet. I ran that a couple times to get all the information out. So let me go ahead and open that information up. And as you can see, it's got all that information there. It's a CSV file, which is a comma separated value file. And see, now you know. If you've never known what that means, now you know, comma separated value file. All right, back to this. So now I want to tell Manus, hey, this is what I want you to do with this information. So I've got a prompt that I went ahead and formatted, and I go into a lot of detail with my prompt simply because I took like 60 hours of prompt engineering, studying every YouTube channel. Google has a prompt engineering course that they offer. A lot of fun. It's not, but it's just something I like to do. So I've got a really in-depth prompt, but here's the cool thing. You don't need an in-depth prompt. You just talk to Manus like you would talk to someone who's really good at assisting you in data, someone who loves spreadsheets, and you would just explain to them, this is what I'm wanting. So what are we wanting? You are wanting to analyze this and then to let you know which areas, which neighborhoods, which subdivisions should you be paying attention to because they're on the rise. Now, you might need to explain to Manus what is it that you mean on the rise means. Like, hey, I want means that they're selling faster. Which one should I be focusing on? What's the price range? So I've gone ahead and done all that in this really detailed prompt that I got. So I'm just going to paste it inside of here. And because it's a lot, it actually just simply added as a text. So I'm going to run this so that you guys can see what happens. Now, the cool thing I love about Manus is as this is running, it's going to let you know what it's doing. And if you ever want to watch it think, which I find fascinating, you can just click on this and it'll kind of bring it up side by side into everything that it's doing. Now, do I expect you to know all this? I don't even know all this. I enjoy seeing it. And you can kind of take a look at the things that it's doing. It's loading and merging all the CSV files to confirm the data's integrity. It's analyzing the subdivision level trends as far as price per square foot, days on market, sale to list ratio, all the things that you would want to know to help you understand that, hey, yeah, this is something I should really focus in on. So let's go back. I'm going to let it do its thing. It shouldn't take that long, but I'll be right back when it finishes. Okay, it's still running, but I wanted to bust up in here real quick just to show you that if you don't like this side-by-side look, you can come up to here right next to the close button and you can have a center view. That way you can just kind of take a look and see all of this amazing data that is coming. Okay, sorry, I just wanted to show you that. Let me get back when it's done. Okay, it is done. Now, all in all, I will tell you, even being conservative, this only took 4 minutes to complete. And let's take a look at what it found. So it attached two files for me, the market analysis and also the subdivision metrics in a CSV file. So I can go ahead and take a look at the market analysis report for Plano, Texas, 75023. Heating up, where to focus your marketing. These are the subdivisions that are showing strong momentum across multiple indicators. They're selling faster, prices are rising, and transaction volume is increasing. Hunter Glen Estates, Imperial Park. And then it breaks down the data and letting you know, hey, sales volume exploded from just one sale in the early period to 10 recent sales. At the same time, days on market plummeted from 135 down to just 6. That's massive. So Hunter's Glen Estates, Imperial Park, Park Forest Edition 4, Hunter's Gate. And then it gave me a watch list of early movement. These neighborhoods are showing positive signs, but haven't fully caught fire yet. So you want to keep an eye on them. Gave me Westgate Edition 2, Parker Road Estates. Hey, that's where my parents live. Post Oak Estates, cooling or flat, where to save your dollar. So not only did it tell me, this is why I love Manus, because it does this thing called sequential reasoning, meaning that it understands your goal and what you're wanting to, and then will give you things because they make sense in what you're going for. So I said, hey, I really want you to tell me what's heating up. Manus went ahead and said, okay, Oh, let me give you that information, but you should also know what's cooling down. That's just that's just fire. I'm sorry, it just is. Let's get back to this. All right, so cooling or flat were to save your dollar. So if you're an agent in the Plano area and you're focusing on these, you might need to rethink these areas simply because the data is showing that they are slowing down. The single strongest recommendation, if you can only farm one subdivision this month, target Hunter's Glen Estates. And the reason is experiencing a massive surge in buyer demand, evidenced by a 900% increase in sales velocity. That's crazy. And I just found that out in 4 minutes time. Market snapshot. So that's all well and good. Okay. Love that. But here's the thing. The very next question that you're going to have, because I can feel it, is Rook, that's awesome. Thank you so much for that knowledge. I will absolutely subscribe to your channel and sing your praises. But having the information just, it's okay, it's a start, but I want to do something more for you, and that is to give you the ability to market to that. Because that's always the next question. Okay, that's great. I got the knowledge. How do I market to it? And that is what we're about to go into right now. See what you're getting with all this stuff? All right, come on, let's get back into this. All right, so I've got this information. Let me close this out. It gave me these two files. Perfect. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this information. So I'm going to open up the CSV file. I'm going to download that bad boy. Download. Thank you. And now let me get this bad boy and let me click on more options. I'm going to download as a PDF. Why not? Perfect. Converts it to PDF for me. So I'm going to put that on my computer as well. Awesome. So now I've got two files. So now that I have these two files, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Claude, because Claude is going to be helping me market or take this data and turn it into marketing. And so what I've got is I've got three prompts that I've got. The first prompt is a short form video script. Okay, so what I'm going to do is first and foremost, I'm going to upload these two files that I've got. Okay, here they are right here. I've got these subdivision metrics, and I've got my marketing data. That's where it starts. And then I'm going to grab this first prompt, and this is all about short form video scripts. Vertical video, I just want really quick ideas in here. And again, you can just tell Claude, hey, this is what I'm wanting. Here is the information that I'm giving you, and this is what I want you to do with it. So I'm going to go ahead and come in here. This is the first of three. And again, it's a lot. I'm going to put in, I'm going to come in here and subdivision. It told me to go after Hunter's Glen. So I'm going to paste Hunter's Glen. It's got some information you can fill out because I made this like a template. So let me go ahead and fill this out, and then I'll show you the results it gave me. Okay, so I filled that out. It wasn't anything a whole lot, just kind of what subdivision you want to focus on. I'm going after Hunter's Glen because it told me to, if I only had one, because we're on a limited budget. And so it is going to do its thing. So let's see what it said. So it gave me a script. Hey, quick one for anyone who lives in Hunter's Glen here in Plano. If you owned a home in this neighborhood a year ago, the market you're sitting in today is not the same one. And most of my neighbors here have no idea. Very strong hook. Now, really quick, what I will tell you is if you're looking at my screen right now and you're reading this script and you're like, doesn't really sound like me. Well, that's because that everything that you're seeing on my screen, I trained Claude to sound like me. And if you're interested in having AI sound like you, then I've got another video for that on my channel coming next. So I'm going to make that for you guys so you can have AI sound like you no matter what you're doing. And it's very, very cool. Just wanted to reference that in case you saw this. So it gave me one script that has really good stuff. I'm the Rook, and Hunter's Glen is one of the areas I track closely. If you want to know what your specific street is doing, send me a message and I'll walk you through it. No pressure, just the real picture. That is a very awesome call to action. So that's cool. It gave me a second script, is now the time to sell. If you've been sitting on the fence about selling your home in Hunter's Glen, then there's something in the recent numbers you probably want to hear. Ooh, I like that hook. That's script number two. Script number three, here's something most homeowners in Hunter's Glen have no idea is happening right now under their noses. Now, that's a very, very good hook. It's a very, it's a hook I see a lot. Don't get Don't get frustrated if you see something, "Ah, I've heard that before." Maybe you have because you're a realtor and you tend to see a lot more real estate marketing than the average person, but don't neglect something that's powerful. Oftentimes, and I want to talk to you real quick. This is a casual side conversation. There's two reasons why we don't like AI and we say it doesn't sound like us. The first one is training. AI wasn't trained to sound like you correctly, and that's why it doesn't. And that's a bad thing. But the second reason it doesn't sound like you is inherently inside of AI, especially when you're dealing with sales, it's going to add things like sales psychology, NEPQ questions, NLP language. It has things that maybe you weren't trained on yet. So if it doesn't sound like you, yes, if we didn't train it correctly, that could be a bad thing. But if you did train it correctly and it's using words you wouldn't typically use, that's the other side of the coin I need for you to be aware of. It's not a bad thing if it doesn't sound like you, if you trained it correctly, because it's adding some really cool sales stuff that maybe we didn't know yet. Okay, back to this. This gave me a very, very cool script to use. I got three good scripts. And if I wanted to, I could go back and say, these are awesome. Make me three more, make me three more, make me three more. And I could go on and on and on, focusing on Hunter's Glen. So that's the first prompt that I've got. But I want to do more than that, because if I've got money for, any kind of ads, then let's see what that looks like. So what I've got is this really cool prompt I made all about a real estate ad strategist. So let me go ahead. I'm going to paste that in here. And again, I didn't change I'm in the same conversation. All right. So let me go ahead and fill this out and then we'll take a look at it on the other side. Okay, so what I did is I basically told it, hey, you're going to make me an ad for this, let me know. And it had the basic same fill out information, because this is a template. So you can fill out basically your name and the area that you're focusing on. So because this is Hunter's Glen in Plano, I just said I'm serving the Plano, Texas area. And so this is what it gave me. It gave me two ad copy variations. Headline: Homes in Hunter's Glen are selling in about 9 days. Wow, that's awesome. Gives me the body, the call to action, comment or message Glenn, and I'll send you the breakdown. That's very cool. And then it gave me the variation B, which is the curiosity aspect of it. Who to target. Very nice. Simple funnel. For those of you that are interested in sales funnels, you can do this as well. And that is awesome. But you know what? I want to do just one more, if that's okay, because I think there's so much value in this information that I really want to make sure that we carry over. And this is something that I don't believe agents really focus on, and that's our email marketing. So, and I understand why, because our open rate is atrocious when it comes to our industry. I think it goes from like 12 to 20% open rate as far as our real estate industry standard of the average email open rate, and which is abysmal. And the reason why is most of us send like templated stuff that we don't even check. You know how it sends like, hey, take a look at this. Tell me what you think. You're like, that's fine, just send it. But this is a very powerful thing to do email marketing for. So let me show you what it can make for you. And again, haven't changed anything. We're still in the same conversation. I'm asking Claude to do three things. Give me some video content, give me some ad strategies. And the final one is give me an email that I could be sending out to people. Okay. So again, I'm going to copy this from my very awesome prompt template. Let me paste that and let me fill this out and I'll get back to you. Let me head down here at the bottom. This is going to be a 3 email sequence, something that I can just send out. And again, email 1, the market update, what's quietly happening in Hunter's Glen. And again, insert whatever area. So whenever you have your database, is your database separated in a way where you can find people easily? So here's what I mean by that. Our databases should have 3 components. You have your database, which is kind of every name and email addresses you've collected. Inside of that database, you have your sphere of influence, those people that that you know, that you absolutely want to do future business with, and that you are willing to invest in that relationship. Those are the 3 questions that we coach on, my wife and I, on how to identify who your sphere really is. And then inside of your sphere are your VIPs, and those people are the people you go above and beyond. So inside of the database, the people who are actually not your sphere or your VIP, then how do you have those people separated? Do you separate them by zip code or, what have you, where the lead came from, any and all that? And so this email is really for the database, the people who are actually looking in a certain area. And again, in my case, this would be Plano. So if I've got people in my database from the Plano area, this is going to be something I'm sending them out to. And so the subject line is, let's take a look at it. What's quietly happening in Hunter's Glen? I'm going to get my code. Obviously, when you use this, if you decide to get these prompts, make sure that you're replacing where it says first name. Every CRM has a different code for first name. So please don't leave that in there, or all your people will get hi first name, and that really just kills the credibility. So I keep a close eye on handful of Plano neighborhoods, and Hunter's Glen is doing something worth telling you about. And here's the cool thing. Take a look at this email. It is short. It is simple. So if I want to take a look at the psychology of what makes Claude awesome, and if I want to toot my own horn, this prompt awesome, is that it's going to write an email as to make it believable that you just had to tell someone, so you sat down and typed something out really quick. It's not long, it's short sentences. And psychologically, if you see something like this, you go, oh, that's not going to take long to read at all, versus the very long, detailed image in the middle, text, 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 text button. It's a lot to take in. But this is something like, hey, I just wanted to type this out really quick. So a year ago, a home there would list and then sit for about 6 weeks before it found a buyer. Right now, those same kinds of homes are going under contract in roughly 9 days. That's a real shift. And most people who live in the neighborhood haven't noticed it yet. So this is the first email. And then the second email is all about, if you've been on the fence about selling, we kind of saw this in the video aspect of it, gives you the information. Reply and let me know what you've been weighing, and I'll get you an honest read on where you stand. That's so good. Email 3, know someone in Hunter's Glen. Quick favor, if you know anyone in Hunter's Glen, quick one today. I've been tracking Hunter's Glen closely. The homes are selling in about 9 days right now, down from roughly 6 weeks a year ago. A lot of homeowners in that neighborhood have no idea their market has moved this much. So if someone comes to mind, a friend, a neighbor, a family member who lives in Hunter Glen and might wonder what their home is worth in a market like this, I'd be glad to put together a free breakdown for them. So no obligation on their end, just useful information from someone who actually watches the area. That's good. Oh, that's so good. This also could be a quick script for a video if I'm just being honest with you guys. So that is fantastic. That is all the information. You could go for days on creating more and more videos about the same information. You could have an ad strategy that if you really wanted to step it up and target. And it said, if you remember, that if you only had to focus on one neighborhood, this would be the one, which wholeheartedly believe it. I'd want you to do that. But imagine if you could get 3 of these, you're bouncing fact, because you saw the information that came out with Manus. It gave a couple of different subdivisions you could be targeting. That's so cool. Anyway, I just think that's awesome. The fact that instead of paying a company $800 a month, you can do this every single month, and it's going to be way cheaper. I'm not going to say free, because Manus, I think, is like $40 a month, but still, in under 4 minutes, you have a wealth of information, and not only a wealth of information, but also really good marketing to boot. So this is built where sellers actually are, on their phones, not at the mailbox. So what I just showed you is the whole system. Find a neighborhood, and then you go get it. Now, if you want the done for you version, the exact Manus prompt, the Claude pack that builds the marketing, and a short guide for running it every single month, I put it together for you. It's in the description. Now, it's $47 and it's built so you can run this in your own market the day you get it. Now, that's not me getting rich off you. It's me saving you the afternoon it'd take to build this yourself, and it helps support the channel so I can keep making these. Grab it or don't. Either way, you walked out if you're knowing something most agents in your market have never even thought about. So I put out a video like this every Tuesday. All of it's built for agents who want more listings and more clients using AI without the overwhelm. So subscribe so the next video finds you. And remember, this is a game of life. Make your move.